real friends, to the real end, to the reals fall off, to the wheels don't spin.
Yeah, yeah.
To 3 a.m. calling. How many
Real friends?
just to ask you a question, just to see how you was feeling? How many for the last you was frontin'? I hate when a nigga text you like, what's up?
I am so baffled at the things that some guys will do in order to get a girl's number or to take them out. I want to do a story time today. So I used to work at, I'm not going to say the place, but I just used to work at a department store in the cosmetics department. Anyways, side note, because this part is important to my story. At this department store that I worked at, if someone came up to you or you approached somebody and said, hey, do you want to open up a credit with us today? The employee gets an incentive for opening up a credit account with that customer, whether or not they were approved. Okay, so it was Saturday night and the store was closing in like 15 minutes. I kept looking at that clock like, hurry up, I'm hungry, I want to lay down, I want to watch my weekly shows, I want to write, I want to relax, I just want to go home and relax. And so this guy, I saw him from the corner of my eye and he was like approaching my counter. It was either I'm gonna get a sale, yippee, way to end the night, or he was just gonna ask for directions to like the bathroom or something, or he was gonna mess up my night as far as my closing procedures and talk to me for no apparent reason, just to be annoying. So it was the third. So he came up to the counter and he was like,
I just had to come to your counter because I saw you from across the way. I've never seen you before. Wah, 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 wah.
and so I'm just standing there like, please leave me alone type of smile. I don't really know what to say to things like that. And then he was like,
what's your name?
I looked down at my name tag. I was like, Hope. And then he was like,
well, I'm sure you know what I'm gonna ask you.
and I was like, I actually don't. I don't know what you're gonna ask me. And he was like,
I was gonna come in and ask for your number.
and then I was like, oh, I'm sorry, I don't give out my number to strangers. Then he was like,
Okay, but I want to get to know you.
then I was just like, okay. And he was like,
What if I buy a whole bunch of makeup?
because you know that's what I was telling. In my mind, I'm like, that would be nice. So I was like, sure, if you buy a whole bunch of makeup or if you open up a whole bunch of credit accounts, I might give you my number. I was just playing around, you know, like it's the end of the night, like I'm loopy, delirious at that point. And then he was like,
Okay, can I start with opening up a credit account for myself and bring people back in?
and so then I was looking at him like, is he serious? If he is, yay for me, but like, dude. I mean, I did want to get a credit for that day, so I was like, okay. And then in the back of my mind, I was like, I'll just give him a fake number. And so he was like checking his pockets. He was like,
What all do I need?
I was like, just your driver's license. He didn't have his driver's license on him, so he was like,
I know you guys are closing. Can I run to my car and come back?
and I was like, sure. I mean, like, if the door's closed, there's something I can do, but sure, go ahead. And then he's like,
Okay, I'll be right back.
in my mind, I'm thinking, maybe he's not gonna come back, so let me just start with this closing thing. I'm not thinking about him. I don't know him. Surely enough, he came back, and I was like, ooh, credit, incentive, And then he was like,
I don't have my driver's license.
so then I was looking at him like, oh, that's too bad, but maybe next time. He was like,
What about tomorrow? You working tomorrow?
and then I was like, yeah, I'm working tomorrow. He was like,
Okay, I'll come back tomorrow.
and then I was looking at him like, okay. He was like,
Have a good night, Hope.
and I was like, you too. Still don't know his name, but whatever. So tomorrow, the next day, which was Sunday, came around. I was at work doing what I do, and lo and behold, I turn around and there's the guy standing next to a friend of his, I guess. So I was just looking at them like, okay. I mean, if he's coming back in to open up credits, incentive for me. So then I was like, hi, like, can I help you guys with anything today? And he was like,
You know what I'm here for. I want to open up a credit.
so I was like, oh. But he like handed me his driver's license. We went through the process. He didn't get approved. Like, I let him know, okay, you weren't approved. If you really do want this credit account, then just go ahead and call the number on this paper and they might work something out with you. So he was like,
I knew I wasn't going to get approved, but here's my buddy.
his buddy, the same thing, didn't get approved. I told him what I needed to tell him. Go ahead, call the number. And he was like,
So what about that number?
and I was looking at him like, I said a whole bunch. I was still kidding with him. So he was like,
Okay, I'll be back.
so I'm thinking like, is he seriously coming back? Because like, every time he says I'll be back, he does come back. So I'm getting happy because I'm like, incentive for me. But at the same time, I'm just like, this is kind of weird. He comes back. And he comes back with someone who he called his cousin, a female that he like pulled from the nail shop. I was watching. He pulled from the nail shop. He was like,
This is my cousin. She wants to open up a credit account.
and so then I was just like, she did it, and she was like,
What's my cousin talking about? Like, why does he want me to open up a credit account?
and I didn't know what to tell her because honestly, I don't know what your cousin's doing. I'm just doing my job. And if someone wants to open up a credit account or is bringing somebody to open up a credit account, I do my job and open up the credit account for them. Okay? So then I was like, I don't know. I guess he wants you guys to get that credit account. She didn't get approved either. And she was like,
I knew it, whatever.
so I was like, I mean, here's the number. Like, I was going through the speech. Here's the number to call. And she was like,
I don't need that. I'm gonna get my nails done.
so then I was just like, oh, okay. And then he came back to my counter. He was like,
So the number.
and I was like, okay, like, I'll give you my number. I gave this man a fake number. I am not giving out my number to anybody. Like, seriously. I mean, sometimes, if they're really cute, really cute. So I gave him a fake number. Pulled out some receipt paper, wrote down a fake number, put my name on it. And I was like, here you go. He was like,
Thank you. I'm coming, hope. I want to take you out.
back in my mind, I was like, but I could have got some like dinner out of this. Maybe he is a nice person. Like, I almost felt bad. I mean, now telling the story, I feel bad. And when he was leaving, he was like,
Yeah, I just want to take you out. So if I bring more people in, can I take you out to dinner?
so my morals are telling me to tell this man, okay, that number's fake. I'm not gonna really give you my number. Please stop. The sales girl in me is saying, ooh, that's a lot more credits. That's a lot more incentives in the system for me. So if they want to open up accounts, I'm gonna let them.
So
Sales girl side won, and I was like, oh, maybe. I mean, I'm not gonna promise you anything, but maybe. And he was like,
okay, baby's better than I know.
surely enough, this man came back with not one, not two, not three, but four more people. And at that point, it looked like he was just pulling people from the mall, because he came in like with rolling a baby in a stroller, and then like someone next to him. Then the next time he came in, and he was like doing this with the person, and I was just like, okay, this is starting to get weird. So at that point, I was kind of spooked. I was scared. I was like, okay, I might lose my job, because now it's looking suspicious that this man keeps coming to my counter, leaving, coming back with another person, leaving, coming back with another person to my counter. I was like, I can't do this anymore. Then, congratulations to Hope. I was hearing my name on the speaker, and I was just standing there like, yes, I did it. Me. Nothing suspicious. I don't know how to keep calm in like weird situations. You will see it all over my face. My facial expressions will always tell you what I'm thinking on the inside. I was born that way. So when my manager came by to give me like more incentives, she was like, you opened up seven? And then I was just like, yeah. They were really proud of me. But at the end of the day, like when I went home that night, I didn't know what to think of the situation, because number one, like if this guy comes back to the counter now that he knows where I work, what if he's upset that I gave him a fake number? Or what if my job ends up figuring things out? Like what if the guy keeps sending more people in? Like there's just so many what ifs in my head, and I'm just like, wow, the things men will do. to get someone's number and to take them out. It's just funny. You guys, men, heck, one that shall never end. Anyways, I'd like to hear stories about your guys' crazy experiences, men or women. Like, men, if you guys have like some stories about a woman trying to get your number or take you out, I want to know. Women, same thing. If you guys have a story about a man trying to take you out, I want to know. I love hearing these stories. Inbox, comment, subscribe, like, all of that down below in the description. There's information and all of that. Thank you for listening to my chit chat, my story time. Tell your friends about us. Tell your friends that we'd like to be friends. Whatever, however that song goes.
Honey, check it. Tell your friends to get with my friends. And we could be friends. Shit, we could do this every weekend. That's right. Alright? Is that alright with you?
And we'll see you next week.
To real friends, to the real end, to the reals fall off, to the wheels don't spin.
Yeah.
To 3 a.m. calling. How many real friends?